Trading will take everything from you, not all at once, not dramatically, not in a way you can point to and say that was the moment. It takes things slowly, quietly, piece by piece. And most people don't realize what they're losing until they're already deep in it. Trading doesn't just take money. Money is the obvious part, the part everyone talks about, the part that shows up on screenshots and statements. What trading really takes is less visible. It takes your certainty, it takes your patience, it takes your ego, it takes your time, it takes your need to feel in control. And for a long time, it gives you almost nothing back. If you've ever felt like trading has demanded more from you than you expected, hit the like button, because it's true for almost everyone who stays long enough. Most people come into trading thinking it's about learning a skill. Charts, entries, exits, risk. They think if they put in enough effort, results will follow in a reasonable time frame. That expectation is the first thing trading takes from you. Because trading doesn't reward effort, it rewards alignment. And alignment usually comes after frustration, confusion, and self-doubt. I want to tell you a story. I knew a trader who was extremely capable in every other area of life. Smart, hardworking, disciplined. He assumed trading would be the same. Learn the rules, apply them, improve over time. Instead, trading dismantled him. Not because he was bad at it, but because it didn't respond to the things he was good at. Effort didn't speed it up. Intelligence didn't protect him. Confidence didn't guarantee anything. Every time he thought he figured it out, the market reminded him that certainty was temporary. What trading took from him first was his belief that being competent meant being in control. That's a brutal realization. Trading doesn't care how capable you are. It forces you to operate in uncertainty constantly. And most people are not used to that. Another thing trading takes is time. Not just screen time, mental time. You're thinking about trades when you're not trading. Replaying losses, imagining what you could have done differently, wondering if you missed something, planning the next session, second-guessing decisions that are already over. Even when you walk away from the charts, trading follows you. I remember a phase where I wasn't even trading that much, but trading occupied my mind constantly. I'd be in conversations, half present. I'd be doing other work, but checking charts. I'd be thinking about setups that might form later. Trading didn't just take hours, it took attention. That's a cost most people don't account for. Another thing trading takes is your sense of progress. In most areas of life, effort creates visible improvement. You practice, you get better, you work harder, you see results. Trading doesn't move like that. You can do everything right and still go nowhere for long stretches. Flat months, drawdowns, regression, periods where it feels like you're worse than before, that messes with people. It takes away the belief that effort equals reward. And when that belief breaks, people start questioning themselves. Am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something obvious? Am I just not cut out for this? Trading takes your certainty and replaces it with doubt. That doubt is heavy. I knew a trader who said the hardest part wasn't losing money. It was losing confidence in his own judgment. He said, I stopped trusting myself. That's dangerous, because when you stop trusting yourself, every decision becomes harder. You hesitate, you overthink, you look for confirmation everywhere. Trading becomes exhausting. That's something trading takes that nobody warns you about. Self-trust. Early on, people are confident because they don't know what they don't know. Later, confidence disappears because they understand how many variables exist. That transition is painful. Another thing trading takes is ego. Not in a clean, motivational way, in a humiliating way. Trading doesn't just challenge your ego, it embarrasses it. You make mistakes you know better than to make. You break rules you promised yourself you'd follow. You repeat behaviors you swore you were done with. And you have to sit with that. There's no boss to blame, no teammate, no excuse that holds up. It's just you and your decisions. Trading strips away the ability to hide behind stories. I remember looking at my own journal and seeing the same mistake written down for the fifth time. Same note, same lesson, same outcome. That's when it hit me. Trading wasn't teaching me about the market. It was teaching me about myself. And I didn't like what I was seeing. That realization hurts. Another thing trading takes is emotional energy. Even on days where nothing terrible happens, trading drains you. Decision-making, risk exposure, managing uncertainty, sitting still, staying disciplined, all of it costs energy. That's why traders feel exhausted even when they don't trade much. You're constantly regulating yourself. And that regulation wears people down. If you've ever felt mentally tired after a session that didn't even go badly, Comment, felt that. That fatigue is real. Another thing trading takes is illusions. The illusion that you can outsmart the market. The illusion that there's a shortcut. The illusion that confidence equals control. The illusion that results will come when you're ready. Trading dismantles all of that, and when those illusions disappear, what's left is either commitment or exit. That's the fork most people hit. Some walk away because the cost feels too high. Others stay because they realize something important. Trading takes everything superficial so it can test what's underneath. Before we go further, if this video is already hitting close to home, subscribe. It tells the truth about what this path actually demands. The reason trading takes so much from you before it gives anything back is simple. Trading removes feedback loops you're used to relying on. In most areas of life, effort creates reassurance. You work hard, you see progress. You study, you pass the test. You train, you get stronger. Trading breaks that contract. You can do everything right and still lose. You can do everything wrong and still win. That disconnect creates psychological stress most people aren't prepared for. The mind wants cause and effect. Trading offers probability instead. That mismatch is exhausting. I remember a trader who told me, "I just want to know if I'm doing this right." He wasn't asking about strategy. He was asking for certainty. Trading never gives it. Instead, it asks you to act without reassurance, to risk money without validation, to trust a process that may not reward you for weeks or months. That's what trading takes first, your need for immediate feedback. Another thing trading takes is your relationship with time. At first, you think in days, then weeks, then months. Eventually, you realize trading operates on a different clock entirely. Progress isn't linear. Breakthroughs don't arrive on schedule. You can't rush it without paying a price. Most people quit because they mentally run out of time before they run out of money. They tell themselves they've been at it too long, that they should be further along, that something is wrong. Nothing is wrong. Trading just doesn't care about your timeline. I knew a trader who said the moment he stopped asking, "When will this work?" was the moment things started stabilizing. That question was draining him. It created pressure. Pressure created mistakes. Trading took his urgency before it gave him consistency. Another thing trading takes is your tolerance for boredom. Not the casual boredom of waiting in line, the deeper boredom of repetition without reward, the same process, the same rules, the same outcomes, over and over. Most people crave novelty. Trading demands sameness. That clash causes burnout. I watch traders abandon solid approaches not because they stopped working, but because they stopped being interesting. They wanted stimulation, not consistency. Trading took their need to be entertained. Another cost trading demands is emotional honesty. Trading exposes behaviors you might hide elsewhere. Impulsivity, avoidance, overconfidence, fear. You can't fake discipline when real money is on the line. That exposure is uncomfortable. And I once heard a trader say, "Trading showed me I don't handle frustration as well as I thought." That realization followed him outside the charts too. Trading doesn't just take from your trading life, it spills into who you are. Another thing trading takes is your excuses. Early on, it's easy to blame the market. Later, that stops working. You see the patterns, same mistakes, same timing, same reactions. Eventually, you realize the common denominator is you. That moment is heavy. Some people quit there because self-confrontation feels worse than loss. Others stay because they see growth beyond trading. Trading takes your excuses to see if you're willing to take responsibility. Another cost is emotional isolation. Trading is lonely. There's no team, no applause, no one to share the weight with. Wins are private. Losses are private. Doubt is private. Even when you're surrounded by people, the decisions are yours alone. I knew traders who felt more isolated trading than they ever did working alone. Because trading isolates responsibility. That isolation is a tax few talk about. Another thing trading takes is your patience with yourself. You will make mistakes you already understand. You will repeat errors you've already written down. You will feel like you're regressing. Trading forces you to confront the gap between knowing and doing. That gap is frustrating. If you've ever said, "I know better than this," you know that pain. Trading takes your pride. Not to humiliate you, but to see if you can operate without it. Another truth is that trading takes your emotional shortcuts. In life, you can often push harder to get through difficulty. Trading punishes pushing. You have to slow down when everything in you wants to speed up. That reversal goes against instinct. Trading takes your instinctual responses and replaces them with deliberate ones. That retraining is uncomfortable and slow. That's why people say trading changes you. There comes a point in trading where it feels like there's nothing left to give. You've lost money before. You've lost confidence before. You've lost motivation, clarity, patience. But this point is different. This is where trading starts taking things you didn't know were attached to it: your identity, your sense of competence, your belief that effort guarantees results. This is where most people quit. Not loudly, not dramatically. They stop opening charts, they stop journaling, they stop caring. They tell themselves they're taking a break, but deep down they know something snapped. This moment doesn't come after your worst loss, it comes after your longest effort. I remember a trader who said something I'll never forget. He said, "I didn't quit because I failed. I quit because I was tired of hoping." Hope is heavy. Hope keeps you showing up even when nothing changes. Hope keeps you telling yourself next month will be different. Eventually, hope turns into resentment. Trading takes hope and stretches it thin. Another story, there was a trader who had finally stopped making beginner mistakes. He wasn't over leveraging, he wasn't revenge trading, he wasn't blowing accounts, but he also wasn't moving forward. Flat months, small drawdowns, emotional neutrality turning into emotional emptiness. He told me, I don't even know what I'm fighting for anymore. That sentence shows up right before people disappear. This is the phase where trading has taken your fantasy. The fantasy that it will save you. The fantasy that it will change your life quickly. The fantasy that success will feel triumphant. What's left is reality, repetition, uncertainty, long-term commitment. Most people don't want that version. Trading takes your fantasy to see if you're still willing to stay. Another thing trading takes at this stage is your need for meaning. Early on, every trade feels important. Every lesson feels profound. Later, it all blends together. Wins don't excite you. Losses don't devastate you. Trading feels mechanical. People mistake that for burnout. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's maturity. The difference is subtle. Burnout feels resentful. Maturity feels neutral. Most traders can't tell the difference, so they leave right when emotional stability arrives. I knew a trader who said he was worried because trading didn't feel exciting anymore. He thought that meant something was wrong. What was wrong was that he was no longer gambling emotionally. Trading had taken his adrenaline. That's when it starts working. Another cost trading demands here is patience without payoff. You're no longer learning rapidly, you're refining slowly. Small tweaks, minor adjustments, marginal gains. That pace feels insulting after years of effort. This is where ego makes one last stand. It whispers, you should be further along by now. Another thing trading takes is comparison. At this stage, as you see others claiming success, you hear stories of quick wins, you start questioning your path. That comparison feels brutal because you've invested so much. Trading takes your ability to compare without self-judgment. If you let it, comparison will drain whatever motivation you have left. The traders who survive this phase stop looking sideways. They measure themselves only against their past behavior. That's a lonely shift. Another story, I watched a trader almost quit after 3 years. He wasn't failing. He just wasn't excited. One day, he said something simple. I realized trading doesn't need me to be inspired. It needs me to be consistent. That sentence saved him. Consistency isn't glamorous. It doesn't feed the ego. It doesn't create stories. But it works. Trading takes your desire for drama. What's left is work. And that's the real test. If you stay long enough, trading eventually stops taking. Not because it suddenly becomes easy. Not because the market rewards you out of fairness. But because there's nothing left for it to strip away that matters. Once trading has taken your ego, it can't manipulate you with confidence. Once it has taken your urgency, it can't rush you. Once it has taken your fantasy, it can't disappoint you. What remains is something quieter. Clarity. This is the part most people never reach. When trading has taken everything unnecessary, what it gives back is control. Not over the market, but over yourself. You stop needing wins to feel validated. You stop fearing losses as personal failures. You stop chasing meaning in individual trades. Trading becomes what it always was. A probabilistic process, repeated patiently. I remember the first time trading felt neutral to me. Not good, not bad, just neutral. I thought something was wrong. I thought I lost passion. What I had actually lost was emotional attachment. That's when execution sharpened. When trading stops hurting your identity, it stops controlling your behavior. Another thing trading gives back is self-respect. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind that comes from doing what you said you would do even when no one is watching, even when nothing exciting happens, even when results don't show up immediately. That self-respect compounds. It shows up in your routines, in your patience, in your boundaries. Trading becomes a mirror that finally reflects discipline instead of chaos. Another thing it gives back is time. Once you stop forcing trades, trading stops consuming your mind. You trade less, think less, obsess less. Life expands again. The irony is you trade better when trading takes up less of your life. The traders who make it aren't consumed by trading. They're integrated with it. Another gift trading gives back is honesty. You stop lying to yourself about why things didn't work. You stop blaming conditions. You stop telling stories. You see behavior clearly. That honesty is freeing, and it's no longer, why does this keep happening to me? It becomes, I know exactly why this happened. And that clarity gives you power. Trading also gives back humility, not humiliation. Humility. You stop thinking in absolutes. You stop expecting perfection. You accept uncertainty as normal. That acceptance removes emotional friction. Most stress in trading comes from resisting what is. Once resistance ends, stress fades. Another thing trading gives back is trust, not blind trust. Earned trust. You trust your process because you've seen it play out over time. You trust yourself because you've proven you can follow rules even when it's uncomfortable. That trust is built slowly. But once it's there, trading stops feeling fragile. And finally, trading gives back perspective. You realize that most of what hurt you wasn't the market. It was expectations, timelines, comparisons, ego. Once those are gone, trading feels manageable and not easy. Manageable. That's the difference between those who quit and those who stay. Before we end this, if this video resonated with you, share it with someone who's in the middle of the grind and wondering if the cost is worth it. Not to convince them to stay, but to let them know what the cost actually buys. And if you want more content like this that talks honestly about the psychological cost and reward of trading, subscribe. This channel isn't here to sell dreams. It's here to tell the truth. I'll leave you with this. Trading will take everything from you that isn't aligned. It will take your ego, your impatience, your shortcuts, your illusions. But if you stay long enough, it gives back something most people never find: control over yourself. And once you have that, the market no longer feels like a threat. It just becomes a place you operate calmly, deliberately, and without drama. That's when trading stops taking from you, and that's when it finally starts giving back.